One of the reasons people start to lose a feeling of self-empowerment is that they do not give it to themselves. To take good control of your own life means being confident enough to assert yourself, especially for your own protection or the protection of others. In an attempt to appease others, we often stretch the boundaries of our own personal limitations to try and accommodate them. In effect, this is a way of giving away your power to others. To become confident and self-empowered, you need to put those boundaries back into place and take your power back. Here are some practical ways that can help you be a stronger self by setting some invisible boundaries. 1. Cultivate calm. Nobody comes across as more powerless and childish as someone who throws a tantrum in public over something petty. Learning to control our more impetuous emotions, such as anger and jealousy, are a vital part of self-empowerment. In order to maintain credibility even in emotionally charged situations, a strong and powerful person needs to at least attempt to remain the calmest person in the room. That means if you have a quick temper or are prone to snap judgments, you need to focus on becoming more stoic, reacting more slowly and with less emotional involvement. Often if we maintain calm through our initial emotional storm when met with information that displeases us, the very next thoughts we have are more reasonable ones, and we can, in effect, talk ourselves down, off the ledge, of an emotional outburst. This kind of self-control is both powerful as a personal trait and influential with other people. 2. Be honest. Being honest starts at home, too. If you can't be honest with yourself about yourself, chances are you're going to find it a lot easier to be deceitful with other people. Being honest is powerful because it means looking at yourself without the rose-tinted glasses of your own ego, where you'd really like to think that you're the best thing since sliced bread and not a fallible human being like the rest of us. This is not an easy task for anyone, especially people who are proud, to accomplish. Being honest in business dealings makes you more powerful because you will be seen as a person of integrity. As a result, people will take your opinions more seriously because they know you to be a truthful person. However, when being truthful, you must also remember to be kind. Many people love to call themselves brutally honest when brutal is the only part of the phrase they're really interested in. When being honest, also be gentle with both yourself and others. 3. Control your speech. It is easy enough to gossip or complain, but these verbal habits often come back to bite us. If we spend too much of our time backbiting our coworkers or whining about things, these habits will lead us to be seen as socially weak and more than a little obnoxious by others. To become more self-empowered, it's important to start looking at the things we say, since these things both inform others of what we think and color our emotional mood. One person complaining can send an entire room into a downward spiral of negativity, whereas the same person, who either says nothing and silently observes their own negative mood with detachment or says something cheerful instead to diffuse the tension in the room, gains both personal and social control. 4. Say no. Saying no is very hard for many of us because we are socially programmed to please others, but this often leads to us saying yes to situations that go against our common sense or our moral values. To become more powerful in this sense, practice saying no on small commitments that you'd rather not do and that have no real social consequence if you decline, other than the overblown consequences you've built up in your head. Don't justify your decision. Don't make excuses. Just say no. Watch the world not explode when you decline a request, because guess what? It doesn't revolve around you, and chances are, the person you declined is gonna be just fine and will either find someone else or carry on without you. You're now free to move on with the confidence to say no when other people overstep your personal boundaries. Whether it's not wanting to be involved with a particular person or declining to accept more responsibility onto an already overflowing plate, learning to politely say no to people is an important skill to become a more powerful and confident person. 5. Support others, but don't let them drag you down. It is important for us to be kind and to be present for others in their times of need in order to draw on that same well of support for ourselves when we need help, but there is a difference between helping someone and getting mired in a misery loves company situation. If you are in a position to help someone, you should do it, but unfortunately, it is easy to allow toxic situations to fester in your personal life out of the desire to help someone else with their problems. This can lead to you becoming weakened by taking on the problems of someone else even if you don't have any of your own. Providing counsel to those in distress is an important aspect of being kind with others, but learn to recognize when a person's behavior has become toxic and be strong enough to let them go if they start to negatively affect your mental and emotional health. You can't be a self-empowered person if you're having to constantly take action on someone else's behalf or dedicate massive amounts of emotional and mental energy to their problems. You have your own problems to solve first. Self-empowerment means looking at the man in the mirror and accept who you really want to be. Thumb up if you like this video and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you would like to get notified when a new video is on. See you in the next video.